I do this without yawning or having some kind of nipple poppage, because let's not do that. Hey guys, it's G, welcome back to my channel. So today I have been wanting to do this video for quite a while, and it's basically me showing you guys how I edit my Instagram pictures. I am a huge fan of photography. I love the editing part of it. I've always been a huge fan of editing photos, like presets, editing the lighting and like the colour. Literally anything to do with that is like my thing. Like I love the editing part of the photos. I don't like taking photos, but I love editing photos. I do it for my mum, I'll do it for my dog, literally my dog's Instagram. I actually did it at A-level at college. I did photography and I loved editing the photos afterwards, and a lot of my photos that I did were like flowers or really cool like shadow things. Like I literally adored going on Photoshop and basically editing. But however, today, 2020, we don't need Photoshop because there's so many apps on our phones that help us do most of them things anyway. So today I'm going to be showing you how I edit my photos, kind of like photos hacks, tips and tricks that you can use. I will do a little bit of a disclaimer that I have paid for some of the apps and presets just because it's obviously my job doing this, so I will invest my money in some good filters, but you don't have to spend money. You can actually have insane quality pictures without having to spend without having to spend a penny. So yeah, if you want to know how you can up your Instagram game to like, 0 to 100 kind of thing, then carry on watching. Also, if you do like these kind of videos, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, check me out on Instagram. That's like obviously, the place to be if I'm not on YouTube. I've just moved over to this side so I can put my screen recording on this side. So I actually have an album for like pictures that I'm going to be posting on my Instagram. Some I have, some I haven't, and I'm basically going to show you how I edit them. So I'm actually going to start with a photo that I've slightly edited already because I didn't want to bore you guys, but I do like whiten a lot of my pictures. Alright, so I've just picked a photo here. Like I'm not really thinking too much into it, but I have just recently taken this photo here, and the first thing, as soon as I've taken a photo, I will straight away pop it in Facetune 2. This is the app I prefer just because the quality is much better. You've got a lot more like tools to use. So basically Facetune 2 is the way, like the first step in my editing process. It is worth the money. So if you do want to up your game and have the tools like a whitening tool and a black and white tool, my favourite tools ever. So I do try and take my photos against a clean white, light grey or white background. This was against a cream wall. Now I actually don't mind that, like it's quite clean. The first tool I go into is Retouch, and then I go into whiten, and I basically literally spend about 2 minutes colouring in the background of this photo. Now I have already done this on my other one just to save a bit of time because it can take me a while. I am a bit fussy and it is something that I will take ages doing. Like I just love editing and taking my time on photos. So on this one, like it doesn't need that much editing on the background, but there's the before and there's the after. So all it's doing is it's just brightening it a little bit. I do end up cropping this photo when I do go into Instagram anyway, because I kind of like cut off my foot because I hate my feet on Instagram. So I'll basically cut off the top half of this, the lower half of this photo, if you get me. So all I'm doing is using the whitening tool and slightly going over the floor a little bit, and going over the background, and literally that is it. That's before, that's the after. So as you can see, it really does like show a lot of difference. And then if I need like any like yellowness out of it, I go into the black and white tool, and again I go over the photo. As you can see, it doesn't really do that much on the black and white tool because the background that I'm using on this one isn't that bad. Like it doesn't need that much coolness to it. That's the difference. So that's the whitening tool and the black and white tool together. Look how much brighter that photo is. Like it just makes it look so much cleaner, and it doesn't really match my skin colour yet, but once I put it in like another app, it really does flow. So that's all I'm doing there, and to me that like is perfect. I don't need any more. If I want to go in anything, I'll go in sharpen and maybe like sharpen my face a little bit, but I'm using the flash on this photo, so it does pick up the sharpness really well. In things, I'm just like highlighting my top and my nails, and literally that is it. I don't really go too far with this. So yeah, that's all I do on Facetune, and then I'll save the picture and I'll go straight into an app called Colourtone. Now this is actually, I think it's a photographer who's done this app, but I have paid for some of the filters just because the filters are insane. Not all of them, just the ones that I like. And this app's really good for like beach photos, holiday photos. Like it makes everything look insane. But right, so I've just imported my photo that I've just done now, and it hit like, here it is all ready to have the filter on. So I basically go in with their filters. So my favourite, I will admit, is Maldives. It looks intense at first, but when you like knock it down, I have got fake tan on, so I do look tanned anyway, but knocking it down a little bit, like it does give yourself a little bit more colour. And then I go into the brightness tool, like sometimes turn down the shadows, I don't know. Yeah, turn it down the shadows a little bit. The highlights, I kind of like to keep upwards, depend on, again, each photo is so different for me, so I just mess around with the exposure, the highlights, move them up and down, see what like you prefer. The exposure is kind of bright, so I don't want to go any brighter than it is. Like it's, no, I kind of want to leave it. And then I go on to it's like a little thermometer symbol, and next to that is like the vibrance temperature tint. With the temperature, I kind of go this way, so like the cooler way, so I kind of knock it down to, well, that's good. So like, as you can see, it's really warm there, and then if I knock it down, it goes really cool, but it keeps my skin colour quite well, so I knock it down to about there maybe. Like, look at that, how yellowy it looks now, and then before it makes my skin colour look really good with the background, so it kind of blends it together. And then the tint I don't really use much, but I do like to give it a little bit more of a pinky tint. I don't know why, it's just something that I do prefer on my feed. It's just something that I genuinely love, but that's the before and that's the after. So as you can see, it just blends a little bit more now, and it does look like higher quality. It just looks much nicer. And you can go through the hue and saturation. I sometimes go in the saturation and whack that up a little bit to make myself look a bit darker in colour, but it doesn't really add much to the background, which is why I love it. And then sharpen a little bit as well, because Instagram always takes out the quality of the photo. Like as soon as you upload it, it's gone. So if I can, I'll whack the sharpness up a little bit more than I should, so when it does go through Instagram, it doesn't lose too much of the quality and the sharpness of the photo. So I do slightly whack that up, and you've got the option to add grain here. I sometimes save my presets as well. There's another one that I really like as well called Bora Bora. There's loads of different ones. I use ones like, oh my god, that one, Bora K, that one, that one. Yeah, so I just basically I play around, and once I've added like the different highlights and saturation, I go back on the filters again and just check that, like, you know, the different colours and stuff, because once you mess around with the saturation, the hue and all that, you then can kind of see how each filter will look with that like change, if you get me. So I do love Maldives, that is my favourite, and then there's also one called Bora K, and that just lightens a photo up. I use this filter on my lounge picture that I did, which I'll pop up here. That photo is what I used Bora K on. This is beautiful. Maldives just makes it a little bit more duller. Bora K makes it a bit brighter. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick to Bora K, because I do love that against white backgrounds. And then I basically just save that into my phone, and that is it for like very plain photos. So that's the before and that's the after. So as you can see, like a lot of people would probably say that looks good, like the original looks good, but then afterwards it just looks even more professional and it looks really clean. So that is what I do on my photos that are more white based and against a white background. I don't do that much, like I just keep it really simple. If there's anything in the background that I don't like, I always remove it with I think it's called Retouch, which is one of my favourite apps to remove frizz. So yeah, sometimes with this Retouch app I will go in where I've got a little bit of frizz. Now you can't really tell that much, like maybe above my head, so I'll just take the clone stamp and I'll go wherever like the screen kind of matches near my head, which is the white part anyway, and then I go in with this tool and I kind of neaten it up, and it makes it look so much cleaner. It removes the frizz without it looking really harsh. You know, there's nothing worse than frizzy hair on a photo. Make sure that the opacity isn't high, because if it is, it's going to look really harsh and like quite blunt with the lines, but this softens the edges. So when I go in and edit, it makes it look so much cleaner. Like, look at that, that's the before, that's the after. That's actually shocking. Like, my hair must have been so frizzy. So this photo was taken in a car park last weekend, and all I did to this photo was use the black and white tool in the background, because where the sun was shining it was quite yellow. So I just went around the background, left parts in that was a bit like of the green trees in the background to make it not look as fake, and this is the photo, so it looks really cool. And then I'm just going to go in now with my effects. So there's loads of different ones. Again, like I said, it's so different for each photo. So let me have a look. I like the darker one, but I think it looks too dark, so maybe I've added that, and I've just added the intensity to 42, and then all I'm going to go in with is saturation and the temperature. So I make sure the temperature's more on the bluey side. Again, with the tint I add more of the pinky hue to it, so it doesn't look as blue. And then I go into, where's my saturation? Contrast, brightness, saturation. I whack the saturation up, not too much, so I look like an Oompa Loompa. And then again, slightly with the brightness. The contrast doesn't really need as much, but I've added it a little bit more. And that, whoa, oh my god. So like, see what I mean? When you're working with the picture, you don't actually realise how much it's changing it until you go on the photo and see the before. So like, that's the before that I wasn't really going to change, and then that's the after. So can you see what filters can do? Like, it can really transform your photo. Like, I thought this one looked good, and now I've edited it, it looks insane. So that's the before and after. This photo, I'm going to just whack up the sharpness a bit more. And then another app that I do love using is VSEO Cam. This is something I've used for years until now, and recently I've obviously been using my favourite app, which is Colourto, but as you can see I do use this quite a lot. Let me show you, like, wow, look at the before and after of that one. So let me go in with my photo that I've just edited. I can put this in, and I do have presets which I've already done. So this VSEO is very similar to Colourtone, which is basically the same with presets. They've all got like different filters, presets, and you can save your own, basically build your own presets. So if you like certain filters and different, you know, hue, saturation and all that, you can actually save it to apply to all of your photos. But for me, all of my photos are different in some kind of way, so I do like going in there and individually doing it. But if I had a load of photos that are the same, I can copy and paste that effect, which is perfect. So the SEO has got loads of different options in the filter department. I've got like loads that I love. I do really like the DOG or dog one. That sounds really weird, but the dog cam. This one's really vintage, which I really like. Obviously I'd knock this one down, but there's some really good ones. There's one that I really like that I can't remember which that one. So this is AL3, and this photo really brightens any dull photo. Like, a photo could be quite dark, like this one was quite dark because it was stuck in a car park, and then look at that, like it really brightens it. I don't like it too bright because I do like the depth in it, but it's crazy what it can do. I'm just knocking down the highlights a little bit and then adding clarity. Clarity is really good because it does give your photo a little bit more depth in it, which I do love. So I basically found a preset that I already did, and this was just temperature and balance. All I did was put the temperature up a little bit and then the balance which is the white balance. I've basically again warmed it up a bit. So the photo originally was really cool with a little bit of a yellow tint, and I've just whacked that up, and as you can see the photo's got a little bit more warmth, not as blue, but it just looks a little bit brighter. So again, like, I use apps for different things, makes them look really nice, and I do love messing around with the hue, the saturation, the temperature. It really does make a photo look better, if you know what I mean. There's another one that I wanted to do. This is another one that again I did the exact same. I whitened the background. I made the background a little bit more black and white. I didn't put the black and white too full because I didn't want it to look really grey in the background, because I do like the natural look, but instead of it looking yellowy and awful, I want it to be more cleaner. So again, I'm going to go back on into my colour tone, which is my favourite app. Like, look at that. It just makes it look wicked. Like, this is UL2, I don't know what this one's called, but this is really bright in the photo, made the background and the floor, yeah, instead of it so these are my recent ones that I've whitened and black and white background as well. And then I'm just going to take a picture just to edit for now, and then what I'm going to do is, obviously that looks really nice, but it doesn't look, you know, like I wouldn't put that on Instagram right away. So basically for this one I used the DOG1, and I basically put it down to 3.8 so it wasn't too yellowy, but it does give me more of a warmth look. And then with the exposure, I'm probably going to whack it up a little bit more, so that instantly like gives me a much more cleaner look. And then contrast, I popped it down a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, just so it's not as black. As you can see on my temperature and tint, I always have my temperature more bluey and the tint more pink. That just balances it out and makes it look a little bit more like softer and not as yellow or blue. Like, it just looks more neutral, if you get me. The SEO is worth downloading just for the grain, because it doesn't affect the photo colour, it just adds grain on top of whatever photo. Like, that's before and then that's after with grain. How pretty is that? So I don't think I'd put grain on this photo, but even if I did, it would look amazing. So yeah, I love the grain on this app. Yeah, that's kind of it. The other apps that I do like using for my Instagram stories are Unfold. I do pay for some of them as well, just because when I do ads or sponsorships, Unfold is a really cool app for your Instagram stories. After I've taken my photo, I get more excited editing the photo than I do taking it, because in all honesty, I hate taking photos. Like, people are shocked when I say this, but I genuinely hate taking photos. But when it comes to editing, I'm like all over it. Like, it's my favourite part of the process. So yeah, that is all I've got for today, all of my tips and tricks. I feel like my voice is going for some weird reason, but I do hope you enjoyed. Definitely let me know if there's any apps you love and use and swear by, or your tips and tricks. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.